Looks like we are going to be hopping straight into the next map of Ein right away. Probably going to take a little bit of time for the teams to organize themselves, but we should be restarting and getting straight into the next map straight away without any breaks. So that's exciting.
Chat, what did you think of that round? That was one hell of a close match. Let's hear your thoughts on how much we talk about Zab, and and the fact that you haven't heard a single cuck joke this entire cast. Not one.
We've been so good.
We haven't been very good with that.
Been so polite.
And wow, what a just excellent match to get to watch.
This I would love to see a game 3 here. If 1E can as you said pull some together on their home map, on the map that they chose. Here I definitely would love to see a little bit of overtime. Verdun.
Most certainly, most certainly. And they put up a good fight on PC's home map, so considering that they probably feel more comfortable on this map, there's definitely a good chance that they could ease out a victory here. PC, though, going to be feeling confident after that first map for sure. Going to be feeling confident on this map. This is a map that is in their map pool. It's not like it's an outsider map for them. It's not exactly their home map, but it's definitely in their top 3 if they're going to choose maps. It's probably this and Picardy coming in after Vaj.
Now, assuming they keep the squads they have now, are we looking at the same setup that we saw last game as far as classes and squads?
I would suspect a relatively similar setup. 1E have run artillery squads on this map in the past, though personally I'm not a big fan of it. Of course, I wouldn't have run it on Vaj either, and it did work pretty well for him, so it just seems to be what they're comfortable with doing. Players and teams like PC have a different philosophy with that double recon. That's what they like to run, and that's what works for them. And you know, that could be the difference to squeeze out the victory. You know, we're seeing very narrow margins in matches like this, so perhaps that double recon is really helping PC just squeeze that out a little bit, or maybe not. Who knows? It's hard to say. There's a lot of debate in the community about what the best squad setup is. A lot of teams picking that double recon. Some choosing to run one recon and one artillery. I guess this match will kind of be a way of showing which one of those is the most dominant. Of course, there's always those that argue, well, it's not necessarily the squad layouts that matter the most, it's the players, and there is some truth to that as well.
Just a heads up for the audience, we are not live at the moment. We are taking a 5-minute break. Apparently, someone had to do the dishes, I believe, and we are now delaying the North American Verdun Championships for the next 5 minutes. But we are going to get back to it when those things get scrubbed, and we are going to see some top-notch Verdun action.
Yep.
So in a match that is so dominated by the star power of guys like Zed, guys like Zab, is it often sort of the role players that really make the difference? We lost Soren.
Did we? He's gone?
I think so. I heard a door close. I was hoping it was you.
I don't know, maybe it took 5 minutes. Like, literally, it took 5 minutes.
Could be.
He stepped away.
So, Fred,
I think he's coming
French.
back. I think he's coming back. I just heard the door. Did you hear the door?
Yeah. Soren had to take out the garbage.
Yep, I did. Sorry about
Here
that.
You go. We're safe. We're back in the safe zone on Papa Alti.
Had to take a moment, you know, calm myself down, getting a little overexcited about this match, but you know, we're gonna go back in now.
Close game. It is great to see sort of the full potential of Verdun in the competitive environment. which I hope our other competing teams don't take that as a slight. Those games were a blast, but we are really seeing some next level play here.
No, certainly, of course, that SMW versus Cuck third place match was very exciting as well. It's just good to see some high level Verdun where the teams are evenly matched, and we get some epic matches from that.
Yes, if you missed it earlier, we had an awesome game between Cuck and SMW, with SMW taking the third place trophy and taking home $200 in prizes. We have just had a great day of Verdun here, and if 1E is able to pull out victory here, we might have a whole other round of Verdun action.
Yeah, super exciting. And of course, if that does happen, we may end up missing that Game of Thrones premiere, but you know what? It's all worth it in the service of some awesome Verdun.
That is going to piss some people off. But if you're a human adult in 2017, you can get HBO Go and watch it whenever the hell you want. We are going to be playing Verdun.
Yes, exactly. And the match does start straight off. 1E on the offensive. PC rotating to the right very heavily, leaving just Zab and Meeks on that left side. So picks coming in from Zed and Emperor. Nazakar picking off Chirpy as well. And a good push here on the left side, beginning of the round, by Zed and Vetrix. But a large force going to be awaiting them in that left side fort for PC.
Kyle Zephyr setting up, just appearing to wait for a spawn. Very slow push over on this side.
He's going to be careful, though. He might not be in enough cover to comfortably spawn his team. It Can't Be also waiting to spawn his team, and Meeks is going to be aware of that. He's going to push It Can't Be to try and stop him from spawning, and that's going to be a successful push.
That is a great play from Meeks.
And I think he's not going to make it back in time, but it's a great play. That one kill is worth 4.
Has got to be worth it, yep.
And that's the power of those recon plays, just being aware of when players are doing that, and you can push them and stop those close spawns. That's a big effect.
PC appears to be coming out with the early advantage here.
Yeah, like I said before, this is 1E's home map, but that's not to say that PC aren't very comfortable on this. Definitely having a lot of very good long-range pickers, just like 1E does. And Zab just seeming at home, 8 kills so far, 0 deaths. 3 kills for both Nazakar and Samnex as well, without having fallen ones either.
1E really needs to make a push here soon if they're going to gain any momentum in this early stage of the game.
Yes, and 51 seconds to do so. Vetrix pushing up to this clump of trees in the middle. He's going to be taken out by Samnex. Nazakar takes out MJ. Zed pushing as well, takes out Samnex, but trades continuing to go in the favor of PC in the long run. We'll see a big push here on the right side from 1E. 3 players pushing up. Emperor, Chirpy, and Filtrated.
Early leaders so far. Looks like we got Zab with 9 kills and no deaths, coming up big when it matters most in this perhaps match deciding match. They might win this.
Well, and Zab is definitely, he's a great player always, but when he really gets that confidence rolling, when he really feels like he's better than the other team, which he probably is feeling right now after winning that first map, that's when he really, really starts to go off. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. And that's going to be 1E. I don't know that I agree with that attack by them. They're going to be out of position to defend here. But they're kind of setting up a strange defense where they're kind of firing across the line, preventing anyone from getting in, playing defense from the no-mans. Very interesting play from them. Not bad, but working out for them.
Zed's seemingly really pushing the limits on his desertion timer here.
Oh, he's going to push those as far as he can, take out as many people as he can. He's just going to stay in that no-mans. He's going to go down to Tyler. And it's going to be Chirpy having to face off this push on this side. He'll take out 1. Vetrix takes out Meeks as well. Papa Ulti, though, going to clear that side. When are you going to have to be worried that that right side is empty for them? We're going to have Papa Ulti pushing down. It Can't Be going to rotate to try and face him. Emperor seems to be coming as well, but It Can't Be getting taken out. Good crossfires there from Tyler to take out those rotating players.
PC looking motivated here to take that championship.
Yeah, they smell their kill, and they won it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say what the Rock is cooking.
Well, they may smell that too.
That's so dated.
It's a good reference. It's a good reference. I'll allow it.
Next time, I'm just gonna say Dwayne Johnson. I think you could smell what the Dwayne Johnson is cooking.
Doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
Doesn't.
But Sam
1E here trying to form some kind of comeback here. As PC really going through him much quicker than we saw any time in that first round.
And that's going to be a full wipe for them, and they're just going to spawn. Kyle Zephyr just barely missing that spawn, though, dying a little bit too early. And 1E are going to push up. They're going to have PC be aware of that position, though, and they're going to deal a lot of damage to him. Now Emperor and Bread, the only ones left up. Emperor going to take a few with him, but he does go down in the end. Now, all of 1E wiped. And PC gonna get a nice setup to be aware of where that's coming from. But they do spawn on the left side, which is where there's less PC players, so good for them. But immediately players like Nazikar are gonna start looking in that direction. PC is gonna communicate where those spawns are coming from, and they're gonna wipe out that spawn very quickly. Now Vetric's the only one up. This is just looking like PC on a warpath.
Yep, the momentum has shifted hard in PC's favor.
PC's saying, "Hey, 1E, remember that game you had against Cuck yesterday? Yeah, we're gonna do that to you now."
Have fun getting out of your spawns, Cucks.
Wow, just great play from PC, really reaching the peak of their potential right now. Just all of them going off, Zab going off, Tyler going off, Nazikar as well.
1E looking demoralized as we get closer to the halfway point of this match. We are we are seeing PC really take over the game here.
Yeah, PC feeling confident, 1E feeling a little bit demoralized after that first map loss, and it's amazing the momentum that morale can have in a game like this. These are not like, these are just average guys playing the game. It's not like they're professional sportsmen. They haven't been playing competitively for years. We hear a big thing in professional sports. People talk about the ability to come back after a loss, and I'm just not sure that all of the players playing competitive Verdun have that ability. It's going to be interesting to see if 1E can do that. It'll definitely be a difficult task, but it is possible. They are a good team. But PC just really feeling the confidence, and their aim is on point, and they're not having any problems. Not a care in the world for them in this match so far.
Yeah, it just seems like 1E is struggling to change it up here when PC is just landing their shots. It's just simply, they are just on point, one-shotting these guys over and over.
Yes, they are. They've got that nice firing line set up, some artillery coming in, but not really doing any damage.
Zab once again sitting atop the scoreboard at a fine 17-3. Nazikar also on PC with 14.
Tyler not
topping out at Emperor. We're at 10 and 11. So that just goes to show the struggles that 1E is really having here. They have struggled to get out of their spawn on this beginning of this match.
And 1E maybe beginning to regret the pick of this map. It's not going too well for them. Maybe they would have been better off picking a bit of a more close range, scrappy map than this one, as it does seem that PC have the upper hand in that long range picking style that kind of favors this map. Kyle Zephyr lying in wait, but not really in a position to spawn his team. Doesn't really have enough cover to get that spawn in, and he will get taken out. And a little bit of a weakness on that far left side, but the problem with this map is you can pretty much fire at any point along the no man's land from any point along that trench. So even if they've cleared out one side, there will be crossfires coming in from PC from the other side, and a spawn comes in for them as well, which won't help 1E's case. But Filtrated Bread and Zed gonna make it in. Great play there by Zed. Takes out 3 players. Not just any 3 players, but 3 of the best players for PC. This is a good push by 1E. They may be able to make a comeback here.
With all this talk about PC taking over, it's easy to forget that this is a 1-0 game. We are still right within striking distance of 1E tying this thing up.
Yeah, and though it did look dominant there for a moment, 1E now bringing it back. Like I said, this team isn't ever out. They're proving that their mental fortitude is maybe better than I thought it was going to be. Taking out Zab as well. And this is the other thing. Big switches like this can have... for me, I really do think that when you have two teams of this even caliber, it really is a lot of this is a mental game. Who's feeling more confident? Who's feeling more rattled by the fact that they're not doing so well? And 1E's showing some strong mental fortitude, but PC as well, showing that they're not phased by that temporary success of 1E, that they're going to come back and clear out that trench. Bread really doing a good job hiding, though, and keeping that foothold, but he's going to be found. And that's going to be 1E on the defense on this second trench. They almost made a good case for recapturing that trench, but now PC going to get quickly into this far right side. It can't be, going to have to take out Comrade Bravo and Samnix before they can get there, and he does. Good play from him.
1E has got to hold this hill. They cannot let players like Meeks or Zab get the height advantage on them as well.
Yeah, most certainly not. And Meeks maybe not having the best game of his career today. Didn't play too well on the previous map. Not terrible, but not really the heights we've seen him reach before. But that just goes to show the depths of this PC roster, that one or two of their players can have a bad day and they can still play very well. Meant 1E having maybe a little bit of a problem switching squads around or something. I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully they'll get that figured out. There we go. Vetrix maybe accidentally clicking to create a new squad when he didn't mean to. And PC, it seems, do have some pretty good control of the Silva. Chirpy going to try and contest that. He does take out two players. Great play there from Chirpy, but Papa Ulti going to come up quickly behind, try and take him out. Zab's going to get there first, though. But that does give them a bit of a chance of getting a foothold in this far right side, so good play by Chirpy there. PC is still going to have this far left, and might even be able to cap here. As PC are capping at about 60%, nearly 75 now. Capping pretty quickly. 6 players in the trench, and looks like 1E are going to push up onto that hill. Of course, there's going to be a firing line of PC players to deal with them, though, and that's going to be the cap for PC, up 2-0 now in this first half of the second map of the series. Great play here from Vetrix, though, taking out a few players. Zab's going to flank him and take him out, though, and MJ now alone on the staircase, getting flanked by Tyler. Tyler's going to take it out from behind, though, before he can strike MJ, and that allows MJ to take out Nazaker. Finally, he goes down to Zab. Zab not missing many shots right now. 31-8. What a
Zab is feeling it
powerhouse
right now.
Yeah, showing that he is the best player in the world and no one can debate it.
Zed with 18 kills, tied for the lead on his team, but 19 deaths means that he is also taking a lot of hits.
Same with Emperor, both of them with the exact same scoreline right now. And it can't be in Vetrix doing okay, but that other squad are really looking to be struggling. Kyle, Zephyr, Chirpy, and MJ not really being able to accomplish much. Filtrated Bread not looking terrible, but could be better. Really, most of these players probably not feeling as comfortable as they were in the last match. Nice artillery strikes coming in, but PC doing a very good job at avoiding them. Zab and Tyler are going to be sitting here. They're going to take an Emperor as soon as he pushes up. And the artillery strikes, I think that 1E really have to question themselves. I don't think they've really gotten very many kills at all. Kyle's ever with 4 kills, so there's no way their arty strikes have gotten any more than 4 kills, and they've probably gotten less than that, to be honest. So I think 1E might want to consider, if that entire squad gets wiped at some point, switching it up, because that artillery is really not being very effective for them at all, with such wide trenches and PC being very good at avoiding it.
Do you see as gas as a better option here?
I think gas would be a better option. I wouldn't recommend it, though. I'd recommend they switch to a recon squad. I think that's what's going to be most effective on a long-range map like this, where knowledge of where your opponent is going to be the most valuable thing to prevent those flanks. It is important to note that when Emperor's squad uses their recon plane, the other squad cannot see it. This is why there is value in 2 recon planes. Because you might think, oh, well, they already have 1 recon plane. What's the value of having 2? Well, first off, you can use them more often, and second off, you get more players' easily available knowledge. Chirpy, again, once showing that he can just sneak in at any time and do some damage. Great play from him, and he's going to create an opening for Emperor, Zed, and Vetrix to get in.
Relatively short lifespan for him, for Chirpy, but he definitely seems to disrupt things when he gets in there.
Exactly. And allowing Zed and Vetrix to get in, and MJ going to move up on this hill as well. It can't be a nice line of players moving along for 1E, supporting each other. Zab's going to move up, might get a chance to take out MJ here, but Zed will take him out. Good crossfires there from 1E. Actually, very good crossfires here from 1E. You're going to have to deal with Tyler, though. He's definitely got a crossfire on their reinforcements. He's going to spawn in some more players. They're going to be able to take that right side for PC, most likely. Unless MJ can stop them. He's going to spot Meeks, but...
Chirpy taking out Meeks with a good long-range shot there. Oh, Zab, Tyler, Papa Ulti, all in trouble with this height advantage from Chirpy, who is landing his shots.
Papa Ulti getting close, though. He might be able to take out that danger. Emperor needs to trade on Papa Ulti. Papa Ulti with some great movement at the base of that hill, just avoiding detection by 1E. He's going to get taken out by Vetrix.
And they hold the hill with some good work from It Can Be, taking out Zab at range, and then his teammate getting very close.
But they're going to have to make a good transition here as PC push quickly again on the left. But a good defense from 1E. They can do that again for the next 2 minutes. They've recapped the trench now, which is good for them. They can defend now for the next 2 minutes. They can get a chance to attack. They're still not out of it. They could tie up this half.
After that dominant phase from PC, it's surprising to see them come back like this. But it would be a huge boost to their morale, you'd think, if they were able to come out of this half tied up.
Yeah, and if they even played it even more perfectly, they might be able to get a capture. But I think they'll be happy with just getting a tie round for this first half, especially since they're on the less favored side. I think they would be pretty happy with that and feel like they have a good chance at coming back. But PC going to push down this road. MJ is going to spot them. He's going to need to convey that to the rest of his team, let them know where PC is coming from so they can be dealt with accordingly. We don't really see anyone from 1E on the right side, and PC might feel that out. Papa Ulti and Zab heading in that direction. Vetrix going to be the only one really there to be able to deal with them, and him and Kyle Zephyr the only ones up. PC on this left
shot
side
from Zab there in the charge.
And he's going to get control of this hill as he sees the 1E spawn. He's going to do a lot of damage here, taking out a good chunk of that 1E team, and It Can't Be hunting down PC. Zab. But Papa Ulti has him in a crossfire. He's going to communicate his position to Zab, and Zab will help flank, but Ulti will get the shot first, and that's PC back in control.
Zab, I believe, got about 4 or 5 kills in that little rush. He is up to 48 on the game. He is taking over in this deciding game.
Yeah, most certainly about to hit 50 frags. Pretty much twice that of anyone on 1E's side. Zed with 26. Just under, or just over half of what PC Zab is dealing. And that's going to be total control of the trench for PC. And that's going to be 1E having to push across these large open fields. And they're going to struggle, I think.
PC repelling that counterattack once again. 1E finding himself again having to make some desperate moves. What can they pull out of the hat here to regain a couple of trenches?
Well, it seems like they have made that transition from running the artillery squad to the recon squad, like I suggested, which is a good transition to make, and I would suggest that they carry that into the second half. But I think they've lost all hope of being able to tie up this half. But if they could bring it to 2-3, it would certainly be a lot closer and give them a lot better chance in that second half. So that's going to want to be their goal now. It is very difficult to push across this open field and up this hill, though. So they're going to have to struggle with that. They're going to have to maybe sit back in the middle of the snowmans along these tree lines and try and pick off some of those PC players picking at long range and then push up after that. Chirpy, though, the infiltrator, definitely could make a big move, but he's going to go down.
Chirpy has a long way to go before he can actually get into that trench in the first place, where he is most effective. That seems to be the what is hurting 1E the most, is that they just can't close distance on these excellent pickers.
Yeah, that does seem to be their primary problem, and I guess that would be, I mean, they did seem confident coming into this map, but really considering themselves to have equivalent level pickers as PC, but so far this half would seem to be proving otherwise. Maybe they should have tried to go and pick a more close range map. Maybe if they'd played Artois instead of this as their second map, they would have been able to take it to a third, and maybe play Argonne as the third or something like that, but it could be that they gave up their chances in the map ban, but it's hard to tell at this point. They could play much better in the second half. We're not sure. They certainly did on the other map, so it'll be interesting to see what Zed can do. Pushing up here in the middle, he does have a bit of an opening. Papa ulti going down too, giving him even a better chance.
Zed getting way out extended in front of his team.
And he's going to take down Zab too. That's, with the amount of kills Zab is getting per minute right now, just taking him out of the game for a few moments is going to have a big effect. Now MJ, the one up there, hasn't done too well for himself this game.
We may see Zab get up over 70 kills here.
MJ sneaking around. Seems like Voltaire and Nazakar are going to be aware of his position. He's able to take down one and expose the other so that his teammate can get them, but still no foothold for 1E, and they've got 20 seconds to get one. Seems like they might want to start just setting up for defense to make sure they don't end up in even more of a deficit in the next half.
PC taking control at the end of this first half. If they carry this over, it seems like we might be crowning PC at the end of this tournament.
Certainly does seem that way. Just showing a dominant performance on Ein, showing that they're very confident in their shots. Not really too worried about 1E taking them out when they take those aggressive angles. Great play from PC so far in this match. Definitely stepping it up from sort of close and scrappy match that we saw in Vaj. Definitely a much more dominant performance than that now from PC.
You know, we talked about the underperformers from the last game. The example we kept using was Zed. Definitely seems like MJ seems to be filling that role with actually a 1-to-2 kill to death ratio. 17 and 32, not a great performance from MJ.
Yeah, those more aggressive, less picky style players on 1E are going to have trouble in a match like this where PC's pickers are really just dominating the field and not allowing those close range pickers to really get the type of fights that they like to take. And they're going to have just as much trouble on this trench with that as they have in the past ones, as this one can be extra brutal compared to some of the other ones. Once PC have been able to set up their firing line, which they have not yet, so 1E hoping to disrupt that, but having not much success. Bread now just lying prone in the road, hoping to spawn some of his teammates. Only 2 players up for 1E in total.
PC taking a 4-1 lead here, setting themselves up for a huge advantage going into the second half.
Most certainly, and a good push here and good spawn from Bread, not expecting that PC were, but they communicate quickly and are able to deal without taking too much damage to their line. Bread still lying in wait, hoping to do the same again, but probably be expecting it now. It's Chirpy, Kyle Zephyr, and MJ. And here's the thing, he is spawning these players in, but these are some of the underperforming players for this team, so them getting spawned in by him is going to have less effect. Good airplane bomb there from Emperor, going to give MJ some space. He might be able to take out Papa ulti now. And he does. But Zab answers that with a bullet to MJ's face. And Chirpy getting in here, doing some damage, taking out Tyler, but Nazakar going to answer the call.
Filtrated Bread has been pretty immobile over the last minute or two here, just calling in spawn after spawn, and not even Zab in his attempts or Meeks in that rush attempt that we just saw have been able to actually lead him out.
Great play from Zed and Emperor. They're going to clear out this trench and maybe get a chance to recap it. PC going to be pushing quick on that left side, though. One going to have to deal with that right away.
if 1E can bring this score within 2, that would be huge going into the second round for them, the second half.
Certainly, any advantage they can give themselves going into that second half, because they are going to have a similar performance to what PC has done.
Because if they can really turn things around, they might be able to put together a 2-0 score in that second half. If they end up down 3, that second half is going to be a tremendous uphill climb, trying to go 3-0 against a team as high skill as PC.
And certainly, and it does seem like they are going to cap that. Now they just have to maintain that for 45 seconds. And make sure that PC don't get back at it again, but PC are wiped, so they're probably not going to be too worried about that, and they've got a good defense set up. It's going to be very difficult for PC to get another cap in the next 30 seconds. Most likely won't happen. Looks like what PC is doing here is they've just stopped to pick, get a few extra kills. You never know, just in case this match goes to that tie, getting those few extra kills could make the difference. So good, smart decision from PC, knowing that they're not going to be able to cap that trench, so might as well go for the kills. And that's going to be the first half here, 2-4 in favor of Pest Control. Zab, definitely the MVP of that half, 71 kills.
That is a tremendous amount of kills from a single player. I mean, we are really seeing the big players come through here on
like
PC.
He's the Kobe Bryant of Verdun.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And not only finding himself with the most kills, but also with the least deaths on the server. So just absolutely
surgical precision with his shots right now.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, they were able to bring it within 2. If 1E loses this round, it's over. If 1E cannot win this half by 2 or more points, then we will be crowning PC as the Verdun North American champions. One E is looking to tie up this series 1-1. In order to do so, they need 2 points. They need a 2-point advantage at the end of this match, the end of this half.
That would
tie the
give
series up.
And a 3-point advantage if they would like to win the map. So we'll have to see what they can do here in this second half of the second map of this series on Iron. So we'll be restarting again until the Entente attacks first. That is going to be the first challenge that 1E will face, is that initial attack by PC, and Zab tends to have some pretty creative strategies for what he wants to do at the beginning of these rounds. Most teams usually just have all their players attack immediately. Zab sometimes maneuvers them around in certain ways that teams don't expect. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to do in this initial attack phase. Everyone's sending out the good luck, have fun. Seems like it is live. And good luck both teams as we go into what could be this final half of the series that crowns our grand champion. PC, the strong start, Papa Ulti with 2 frags. It can't be. Heading back with 2 of his own. Emperor as well. 3 kills for both teams so far.
1E appearing to have a good spread in that trench right now, having to start with that early defense.
Yes, and Voltaire going on the far flank. Only Kyle Zephyr going to be there to face him. Not the strongest player on 1E so far, but he does spawn Chirpy and MJ to help him out, as well as Filtrated Bread, but they're going to start rotating in the other direction, unaware. But Kyle Zephyr will spot the aggression, bring his teammates back to help. Filtrated Bread and Kyle Zephyr fighting Comrade Bravo here, prone against the edge there. Going to take out one of them. Bread not going to be aware of the position by Bravo, and Bravo's going to get in on that right side.
Papa Ulti also making his way through here. Only player remaining is MJ for 1E. This trench advantage goes to PC very quickly here.
And looks like they want to get straight into it and continue that momentum from the first half of this map, and they are doing so. MJ, now the only one left on this far right side, gonna try and hope to spawn some of his teammates, prevent that cap from PC, which is already at about 25%. He spawned some of his team though, and they're gonna immediately start picking in that other direction, and lots of kills for 1E. Also getting that spawn on the other side, gonna take down a bunch of PC players, prevent that cap from happening. Great response there from 1E. Doing a good job. Not very many kills for PC there at all. In fact, only getting one in that entire exchange. 1E takes out pretty much the entire PC team and only loses one player for it. Very good play from them.
Good recovery from 1E there. That would have been a disastrous start if PC would have taken and held that trench immediately.
Yeah, so 1E looking like they might be able to give themselves a chance to attack. 40 seconds now for PC to respond and try and get a foothold. Otherwise, 1E will be on the attack once again. Zed trying to deal some damage. He's been perhaps the biggest impact player on 1E in this series. Getting lots of multi-kills, but Meeks flanking all the way on the far left here. Zed might be aware of it, or have some idea that someone will be there. Yeah, he does. He sees Meeks. Good play from him. Meeks having just taken out Vetrix, but Samnix gets in. He's going to take out Filtrated Bread. But he might go down to Chirpy here.
Going on a rampage here, taking out 2 or 3 in a row before getting dropped by Chirpy.
Yep.
Chirpy and Voltaire in a duel here.
Yep.
Chirpy is left alone. This could be big. And there we go. We have we do have a quick spawn from 1E here. We'll see if they can get some kills to make a push. But that was once again PC showing a very aggressive strategy in clearing out that trench.
Filtrated Bread gonna try and hold here. That's a cap for PC. Filtrated Bread maybe will spawn more of his team, but he's not really. Only Vetrix spawns. Comrade Bravo able to push out into that no man's land and take him out before he can spawn his team just before. Great play there from Comrade Bravo. That's gonna make some big impact as now the rest of 1E have to cross this no man's land with massive amounts of fire coming in from PC as they are all aware of their spawn position.
PC taking a 1-0 lead here, making it that much tougher for a comeback from 1E. They have just over 20 minutes to get this thing at least tied up to push for a draw.
Yeah, and they do need to be up by 2 trenches in order to bring about a draw, and up by 3 in order to win this match and absolutely force it into a third map. But PC just looking dominant. They do not want that to happen. They have completely wiped 1E.
We are in the second half here of the second round in the PC versus 1E Verdun North American Championships.
And again, PC just being dominant. They do not want to give 1E a single chance to bring this game back. They want to make them demoralized and feel shut down. And
1E is going to have to start acting desperately here.
And that's the struggle is you do have to act desperately, but you have to act, you don't want to act desperately in a way that's unorganized. You still have to maintain your organization. You have to make risky plays, but you have to make calculated risks, not just panic. Panic may be starting to set in on that 1E side. They need to remain organized. That's the most important thing, especially in a comeback situation like this. Organization is going to be a very big deal. And Emperor and Vetrix going to push up here alongside this tank together. Vetrix getting some kills. Emperor.
And 1E had some really good early success with Chirpy leading the charge, getting into close range. His score right now sitting at 0-12. PC has completely neutralized the effectiveness of Chirpy's short range game.
Yes, absolutely. Clearly, he's much less comfortable on this map than he was on Vaj. He didn't do that great in this first half and clearly lost a lot of his confidence, leading to the sort of performance he's having right now. Not good for him.
PC holding strong on that trench.
Absolutely, and 1E sort of clumping together usually when they spawn now, which is maybe a mistake with a PC who's so tuned into their communications and instantly calling out where one has spawned.
So going into this second round, we were talking about the fact that this was 1E's choice in map, and that maybe that might give them the advantage they needed to tie this thing up. It would seem to me that PC's long-range shooting abilities has totally countered 1E's choice here. Would you say that was at this point, now that we're seeing the game get more and more uphill for 1E, was that a tactical error?
Yes, I think in hindsight we can say that 1E made a mistake in overestimating perhaps the picking power of their own team. 1E, I think, a little bit more of a scrappy team, better in those close range fights, and maybe not as good as PC in those long range picking battles as we're seeing in this match. So I think that maybe another map would have been a better pick for them, but that's going to be a lesson they're going to have to learn and carry into the next tournament. Because for now, they're stuck on this map. The decision has been made, and there's not much they can do about it but put up their best fight, which in this half, even Emperor and Zed not doing too well. Both negative scorelines right now. And PC already moving in to capture this second trench with little resistance from 1E. Well, 1E will put up some resistance on that right side, but Samnix just going ham with the bayonet.
Getting 3 kills before It Can't Be finally takes him down.
And PC will have control of that hill. Again, this is very similar to that second Entente line, where that hill is a very important area to control. It's a little less powerful than the hill on the Entente trench, but still a very powerful position. But when he can definitely maintain a foothold from this right side and try and prevent PC from capping. So that's why we see such a large force from PC moving in on the right side now. Let's try and clear that out. Samnix, Bravo, Voltaire, and Nazik are coming in. They're going to sandwich that 1E side. 1E in some big trouble here. Emperor trying to break out on that left side. He's going to have to...
Emperor needs to win his duel with Zab here.
He really does, and Tyler and Meek spawning in aren't going to bode well for him either. He's going to try and
able to take out Zab, but that spawn was pretty devastating for him.
And that's going to be a wipe for 1E and a cap for PC. They're going to set up their defense and wait for 1E to push out. And I think PC feeling confident now that they've won this series. Great play from them. Zab with 24 and 10. Not going as crazy as last time, letting some of the rest of his team pick up some more of the kills.
How generous.
How generous of him. We see Ulti, 20 and 9. Tyler with 19 kills, Nazcar with 15. Good play across the board from PC.
I mean, as dominant as Zab can be, it really seems like the balance of PC was a huge factor here.
Most certainly. Overall, a very strong team. Huge depth. You've got to say that even if Zab wasn't in the picture for this team, it would still be in the contention for the best team in the world. That's for sure. It will probably be a little bit of a closer match, but the result might not be too much different, as the depth in this team is very high. But same can be said of 1E, maybe just lacking a few of the teamwork components they need, and maybe need to work on their long-range picking a little bit more, maybe pick up a few more players with that skill set. But they may want to look at some of the other teams like Cuck and SMW, see if they can pick up some of those players, improve their roster for the next tournament, and come back stronger than ever. This is definitely the strongest 1E team we've seen, and the team that's challenged PC the most, but not quite able to overthrow them at this point. Of course, there's still 15 minutes left in this match, but 1E looking in dire straits. They have taken control of that hill on the left, so they might be able to have a chance at maybe recapturing this trench, but it's a long road for them to the tie even, let alone the victory. Gonna have to capture 4 trenches in 15 minutes, and that's just about Yeah, no, he's going insane. And it's just a big ask for 1E to capture that many trenches. And I think they're aware of that, and they're quite disheartened by it. It's starting to get closer and closer to that mathematical impossibility for 1E. I think if PC ensure there's offense of this trench here, it will be pretty much over for 1E, if it isn't already. And Zab, having gone absolutely insane, boosting himself from the 25 kills he was at to the 36 and just one life. Great play by him.
The switch, and 1E is really getting the business end here.
And we're seeing a switch back to that artillery squad for 1E, but I don't think that's what their problem is. I don't think their problem has been squads on this map. I mean, maybe it was a little bit in the first half. Weren't too successful with that artillery squad, and switching both squads to artillery. Not sure if that's going to help them much here at all. It's going to open a chance for PC to capitalize on their disorganization while they're switching squads. But I guess throwing a little bit of a Hail Mary at this point. I'm not even sure if it is mathematically possible for 1E to come back at this point. And if it is, they'll have to play a perfect game.
Just, continued dominance from PC. We are definitely seeing why these guys were favored going into the tournament.
Absolutely. And looks like the squad switches coming in for PC, switching to those Canadian squads. Let's see what they can do with those. Probably just having a bit of fun here at the end. Saying, "Oh, we're in such a lead, we can just switch squads and have a fun time with it."
From what I understand of Team PC, it is not exactly outside of their personality to troll the other team more than a little.
Oh no, it's definitely something that I mean, it's kind of part of their persona. I think they may even consider it a strategical advantage of psychological warfare to just show. I mean, the next time 1E play PC, they're gonna remember that, and it's gonna bother them. You know, it's gonna weigh on their minds. And I think anything that you can do to take your opponent's mind off of the game is something that can give you an advantage. And of course, 1E switching squads as well, but I think it's just something PC do to. It also just raises their morale to go, "Oh look, we're winning so much, guys. Let's just change squads and have fun with it." And it really gives their players a boost in morale, especially going into future matches. So I understand why they do it. Some people might consider it a little bit unsportsmanlike, and perhaps it is, but it's part of the game, and they're taking advantage of everything they can to try and be as successful of a team as possible.
Winner of this match is going to be crowned the North American champion for Verdun. The prize here is going to be to the second place team, presumably in this case going to be 1E, as the math just does not seem to be working out for them. 1E will be taking home $300 in prizes to spread out among their team. PC, as the champions of the North American tournament, will be taking $500 in prizes for this tournament, powered by OP Noobs. Really fun time this weekend. Soren, I really want to thank you for offering your expertise and walking us through so many of the details of this very deep, very technical game. So thank you very much.
Yes, a big thanks.
That's been my pleasure. I really enjoy watching some high-level Verdun like this, and these have been some great matches to cast with you guys. We've had some good times. Lots of prizes given out to everyone in chat, which I'm sure they're all enjoying, and lots of great competition for all the competitive players in the scene. I think everyone's had a great time.
Yes, everyone in chat should give Lori a big thank you. She has been handing out games all weekend.
Yes.
$1,000 worth of games going out to the viewers of this Twitch stream. Can't appreciate you guys enough. Thank you a billion times.
Very much so. Meanwhile, the butchery continues.
Yes.
We have PC going up 3-0. Not seeming to hold back much at the end of the game here.
Meanwhile, Zab continuing to improve his stats, and so does the rest of his team. And 1 minute left to defend this trench for them. Of course, Emperor getting in there with the MP18, dealing a lot of damage.
Picking up 2 or 3 kills there.
And this is the sort of trench that favors 1E. We see them having more success when they get into these close range engagements in the sort of trench where they can play a more scrappy game. I think it goes to show that maybe their mistake was late in their choice of map. And now will be 1E cleared once again. And a wall of gas set up by PC as well.
And we are we also, I believe, we just witnessed Zab teabagging a teammate. Not a teammate, an opponent.
Yeah, it seems like he's doing the rounds of walking down. I mean, he's teammating both his teammates' dead bodies and the enemies. He's just having a reckless,
classy individual.
Yep, going down the trenches with a reckless abandon, killing people, and
but when you
having
get
his way with
53
them.
kills in the championship game, I guess you've earned yourself more than a couple teabags.
Kyle Zephyr saying thanks for the teabag. Zab saying it's no problem to him. Sure, it's something he enjoys. Again, it's just a thing. You know, I think in any competitive sport, you have a little bit of trash talk or a little bit of poor sportsmanship here or there. It's just something that players enjoy, and it's part of the competitive spirit of the game, I think.
Soren, you're definitely a big part of the competitive community around Verdun here. Are we going to see some awkward moments in the Discord channel later?
Most likely not. All these guys are friends and know each other, and the trash talk began as soon as the tournament was announced. I mean, I think it's pretty expected from pretty much all the sides that that's the sort of thing that's going to happen. I'm sure there's a few people who are slightly bothered by it, but I think for the most part, it's just a part of the community and the way we interact with each other. So I don't think it's going to cause any big issues.
Good.
If anything, it just grows the rivalries, and the rivalries are the main reason why people play this game competitively is the rivalries. I mean, obviously it's not like there's a lot of money in it, or there's a lot of fame or fortune or anything like that. People play this because they love the game and they love the rivalries. So stuff like that sort of fuels a lot of the players, I think.
We are ticking down to the 5-minute mark. 1E gonna be second place here. With PC taking home the championship. And of course, in this case, when I say taking home, I mean they probably give a quick little fist pump at their desk, and then they get up and walk away.
Yeah!
But gotta be a good moment. This has been a great competitive season for these guys, and the North American Championships have been, I'm sure, just a blast for them as well.
Absolutely. And I'm sure 1E are going to be happy with their second place. They've certainly showed themselves to be dominant against any other team who faced them. Definitely earning that second place slot. SMW getting that third place in a pretty awesome match against Cuck. Cuck coming up as kind of a rising team, and it'd be interesting to see if they can have any success in the future. And just a lot of interesting stuff coming out of this tournament. And this new strength of this 1E lineup that they could even challenge PC on other maps. I mean, they played PC in the regular season just a couple months ago and were completely decimated by them. And being able to put up a fight against them on Vaj like that is just That's something that 1E should be very happy about, I think.
So there appears to be some a bit of drama going on in the chat here.
They're just joking around, I think. I don't think
Yeah?
it's anything too serious. I don't think it's anything too serious. I think they're just poking fun at each other. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But PC pushing forward. And going to be pretty happy with their victory. Some trash talk coming out from both the winning and losing side, as is to be expected with competition like this.
Some wild accusations. Uh-oh.
As I've said, Zed and Zab have had their disagreements in the past, and I'm sure those disagreements will continue into the future. Yeah, I don't know what Zed is on about saying no EU players allowed. The rules in the all VCL events has always been that 2 EU players are allowed on any team at the discretion of VCL admins. So
the argument here seems to be that PC has 2 EU players. They mentioned something about a guy from Finland.
Yeah, we have Alti is from Finland and Samnex is French, but we do allow a limited number of EU players to compete in our Verdun competitive league events, as often they're friends of people or there's not a lot of competition in the European scene. So for some of those top players, they really enjoy to be able to compete in the North American events. So we do allow at admin discretion and at the VCL Council's discretion, we do allow European players to play in some of our events on certain occasions. So, and those players were allowed to play by the admins. So, yeah, I don't think there's any issue as far as PC violating the rules.
That's like for a straight shooter.
And I don't really think 1E can say too much because the admins were quite generous to them in allowing them to run Zed, who had been a player who had accepted a ban from the league in the past, and we allowed him to be unbanned to play in this tournament. So I don't think it's I don't think there's. I think it's a little bit of people in glass houses throwing a few too many stones.
Was Zed caught with some performance enhancing drugs? What's the story there?
No, just he had some strong disagreements with admins, and words were said, and bans were handed out that maybe weren't entirely fair bans, which is part of the reason why he was unbanned. But I mean, I don't think people should be too upset. The rosters were publicly available before the tournament started, and if people had problems with them, they could have put in issues before the tournament began. The rules were publicly available for months before the tournament began. Teams were aware that they could recruit EU players if they wanted to. So I don't think it's too much of an issue.
Well, we are winding down on the Verdun Championships here. An ending that PC absolutely took control of that game. They are going to be crowned the champions of the North American Verdun Games, and an ending steeped in controversy.
That's it.
For one or two people, I think most people are just about fine, but there may be one or two people who are a little bit upset. As usually comes from the outcomes of competitions, people get impassioned. I think it's a good thing that people get impassioned and upset when they lose, or happy when they are victorious. I think it just shows that everyone has a good passion for the game.
So that was an absolute blast, you guys. We have concluded the North American Verdun Championships. Thank you so much to our audience, first and foremost, tuning in and checking out the stream all weekend. We have been casting for hours, and somehow I just know that I'm probably going to end up just sitting back here and playing video games for another few hours. But you guys have been fantastic.
Thank you, Adam.
Soren,
thanks for hosting
again, thank you. Yes, of course. Lori, one more big thank you to you in the chat. Been running the show behind the scenes this whole time. And Soren, you have been fantastic this entire time. Thank you so much for your participation with us.
No problem. I have enjoyed it.
We're going to be getting in touch with the winners of the championships, and we're going to be sending the prize loot. We're also going to make an announcement shortly, probably early next week, about the next event that we'll be hosting soon. More to be confirmed as we discuss this with the admins and other people from the community who have been participating in this event. I also want to say thanks to everyone. Adam, you've been a gracious, an amazing host. We've kept the lights on for I think like a good 10 hours this weekend. I think everybody's exhausted, but I had a blast, and I think we saw some amazing moments. It was definitely a learning experience for the D4I crew. Thanks everybody on our team for all your hard work, and thanks to Zab for having it made so easy to bring players around this event and just making it happen. Soren, I know we're going to see a lot more of you moving forward. We're excited about Verdun, we're excited about Tannenberg, and we hope to continue to support the competitive scene. I'm starting to recognize the names now and the players who've been around since this is our second time around. And I'm excited about the future. So Adam, a big thanks. Laurie, thanks again, and the whole team on Zab's side. Big thanks for letting us host this.
Yeah, no, of course. It was a pleasure and an awesome event.
And congrats to Pest Control.
Yes, it seems that they have controlled the pests.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess we'll all see you all guys next time. Adam?
Alright guys, have a great time. Thank you so much once again to the Verdun Championship League, Soren, Fred, everybody. See you next time. We will have more and more coming for you from OP Noobs very soon. Thanks guys, have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks guys.